You'd never guess what one tiny creature did to save an entire garden from losing its magic forever. But this story might break your heart. Underneath the soft, silvery glow of a full moon, a tiny hedgehog named Pip wandered the magical garden. But this wasn't any ordinary garden. Every flower whispered dreams to those who listened, and every blade of grass shimmered with untold stories. The stars above seemed to hum a lullaby just for this enchanted place. But lately, something had changed. The whispers were growing fainter, and the plants looked as if they were wilting, tired and struggling. And Pip, with his tiny paws and brave heart, knew he had to do something. But what could one small hedgehog do when the very heart of the garden was fading away? Pip could hear it. The flowers, once full of laughter and peaceful dreams, now whispered in tired voices. The garden was losing its magic. Slowly, painfully, like watching a sunset that you know will never rise again. Every night, Pip wandered deeper into the garden, searching for a way to bring back the magic. He knew the moon lily, the most radiant flower in the garden, held the key. Its light was fading, and without it, the garden's magic would disappear forever. But there was one terrible truth that haunted Pip. No one had seen the moon lily bloom in over 100 years, and some said it never would again. Night after night, Pip searched. He asked the roses with their soft, melodic voices if they knew how to save the garden, but they only sighed in reply. The old oak tree, its bark gnarled with age, could only tell stories of when the moon lily used to shine bright, but it too was losing hope. The creatures of the garden began to leave one by one. The fireflies who once danced under the stars were nowhere to be seen. The birds who filled the air with songs of dreams had flown to distant lands. Even the winds whispered of the garden's end. Pip's heart ached. Every night he ventured further, his little paws sore and his eyes heavy with exhaustion. He refused to believe that the magic could die, that the stories could end. But deep down, he feared. Maybe the whispers were right. Then one night, as Pip sat beneath a weeping willow, tears filling his eyes, an old, forgotten voice echoed through the garden. The moon lily can bloom once more, but it requires something more powerful than magic. Pip's ears perked up. It needs a heart willing to sacrifice everything for the sake of others. Pip's heart skipped a beat. He was just a small hedgehog. Could he really save the garden? As the moon reached its highest point in the sky, Pip made his decision. With trembling paws and a racing heart, he approached the place where the moon lily once bloomed. There, surrounded by dried petals and wilting stems, Pip stood, knowing what he had to do. The garden didn't need magic. It needed love, pure and selfless. Pip lay down beside the moon lily, his tiny body curling around its roots. As he whispered a quiet goodbye to the garden, a single tear rolled down his cheek and touched the flower's stem. In that moment, the garden grew still. For a heartbeat, it felt like the entire world was holding its breath. And then, a soft glow began to emerge from the moon lily. It was faint at first, like the first light of dawn, but it grew brighter, warmer. Pip watched, his eyes wide as the moon lily bloomed for the first time in over a century. Its petals unfurled, shining like a beacon in the night. The whispers of the garden returned, soft and sweet, filled with the dreams of all those who had ever loved it. But Pip, little Pip, was gone. The garden was saved, its magic stronger than ever, but at a cost that no one had expected. Every flower, every tree, every creature that returned to the garden knew that it was Pip's love, his sacrifice, that had brought the moon lily back to life. And though Pip was no longer there, his spirit lingered in every corner of the garden. The wind would carry his name, and the stars would shine just a little brighter in his memory. And so, every night, under the same glowing moon, the garden would bloom, its magic alive again. But those who knew the story of Pip never forgot that sometimes the smallest hearts carry the greatest love. If Pip's story touched your heart, subscribe for more magical tales. Who knows, maybe next time you'll be the one to hear the garden's whispers.